Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on March 29th, 2023. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update, as well earthquakes, volcanoes, and a look at world weather. Starting out here looking at our sun. Last 48 hours of imagery, we're going to be witnessing an X-class solar flare, 2 M-class solar flares, and as well a plasma filament eruption. Watching closely here as we had many sunspots Earth-facing position, as noted yesterday. Having a look at the last 48 hours incoming, we do have a couple sunspot regions turning in, as well. Watch on the left-hand side, dark lined region, plasma filament lifts up and smacks back into the sun. Look at the last 48 hours outgoing. This is where we're going to see the X-class solar flare, as well 2 M-class solar flares. Sunspot region on the right. Luckily, not in an Earth-facing position, but enough to give a high-frequency radio blackout with that X-class solar flare. As well, noting here that plasma filament eruption, that thing was monstrous. Probably standing about 13 Earths tall. Amazing images brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, mixed here with Daily Events Worldwide. Having a look at multispectrum, this is where we can see coronal hole regions, which we still have that coronal hole region equatorial. And there's that bright sunspot region that produced the X-class solar flare. As well, top right hand of our sun, very active region, as noted a couple days ago, near X-class solar flare on the backside of the sun, I'm sure. Having a look at another light, you can really see our heliosphere in action. Helps us somewhat see and understand what the sun's magnetic field is doing during solar cycle 25. Pointing out all the sunspot regions, as there are 6, and 3 of them we're definitely be keeping an eye on. As well, notable that bottom left-hand side, that plasma filament, just some amazing imagery here. The X-class solar flare, that large plasma loop action going on in the top right-hand corner of the sun, and as well opposite antipode to that region, bottom left-hand side, plasma filament eruption. Amazing stuff. And thank you so much for tuning in today. Having a look at space weather conditions, we are under an R3 strong radio blackout. Impacts are possible. Loss of radio contact for about an hour was observed. Solar X-ray flux, as you can see here, hopped up into the X 1.2 range, as well 2 M-class solar flares there. Geomagnetic activity slightly elevated up to KP2. Looking at ISWA space prediction spiral, not really expecting too much until tomorrow and into the 31st, as we were expecting space weather impact. Right now we're sitting at about 420 kilometers per second. As you can see, the density bunches are down, and as well the temperature is now down. Things have calmed a little bit since that coronal hole wind stream. Having a look at LASCO 3, the last 2 days of events on our sun, showing that large filament eruption taking off in the outgoing position, as well in the last few images, watching a slight CME coming out from that plasma filament. Watching closely there on the left-hand side of the disk. Schumann resonance for today is a power of 11. Nice healthy spike during the day today. Quality of 10.9, frequency max of 7.9. Now let's get to earthquakes the past 24 hours, as we do have notable earthquakes to talk about today, as we've seen about 95, almost 100 earthquakes at Yellowstone supervolcano. Mammoth, Wyoming, reporting a 3.7 earthquake, and as well 3.1 all ranging from 2.1 and greater. Now, these all occurred right in the lake. We're just recently now getting some new activity northwest of the lake. But 88 earthquakes in the lake, and there's been more even since doing this update. What is going on at our Yellowstone? Could be getting another lift here. As well, they've seen tons of snow through the region, and they're about to get more. 367 earthquakes across the USGS right now. Most concerning is Yellowstone. Carrying on here, Central Alaska did see a lot of minor activity today, but it instantly went to Yellowstone, 3.9, the largest through the region. Some pretty deep earthquakes here. Bonin Islands, over 500 kilometer depth. As well, Japan, 5.1 magnitude. Indonesia and Banda Sea north to Philippines seeing activity today as well. And then we get to our Fiji region, 5.0 earthquake, 617 kilometer depth, as well a 4.8, 568 kilometer depth. So two very deep earthquakes. Tonga region, we can expect a larger, shallower earthquake to follow. Carrying on here, 4.3, border with Pakistan, as well a couple earthquakes there to report in Turkey still. South America, very quiet today, only reporting that one in Peru, 4.7, and eerily quiet through Central America. Not too much happening in Puerto Rico today, Dominican Republic. Have a quick look here at the last 7 days for earthquakes around the world. I'd like to just address to everybody, please just have a plan, have a go bag ready, and be ready for any kind of disaster, whether it be a tornado or earthquakes, fire, whatever your area is prone to, please just heads up, stay safe. Let's have a look here at the Pacific Disaster Center showing the most recent satellite imagery and as well pointing out the most recent volcanoes getting updated today. We've got Villarrica in Chile, as well as San Miguel in El Salvador, both getting updated about 20 minutes ago. 210 active hazards right now. Popocatépetl in Mexico, Swiss and Najima in Japan, as well Cotopaxi in Ecuador. These are all in the last 3 hours. Santa Maria in Guatemala, Šivelich, Russia, Simeru, Indonesia, Sabancaya in Peru, Fuego in Guatemala, as well Bezimiany in Russia, 18 hours ago, awakening after being quiet for quite some time, Era in Japan, and as well Ebeko in Russia, all in the past 17 hours. Having a look here, satellite imagery, big low pressure system off the west coast as well, atmospheric river of moisture moving across the Atlantic. Satellite imagery here showing a pretty massive system north of Hawaii, still churning in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, as well as some intense weather moving down the coastline right now with that low pressure system, center of the low, getting ready to make landfall tonight. Watch for strong winds through California, as well Oregon. Looking across the rest of the world, moisture, as forecasted, tons of it moving in to Europe and the United Kingdom, and as well some pretty heavy thunderstorms through Africa. And one tropical storm to talk about, tropical cyclone Herman, is alive. Not forecasted to make landfall, though. Having a look here at the precipitation models, as we do have that low coming through the Pacific Northwest, and it is set to bring in some extreme weather across eastern United States and eastern Canada. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Sunday, it will be snow on the backside, believe it or not. We've also got another Alberta clipper forming here. Central Alberta into Saskatchewan by next Sunday into Monday. Watch for upsloping snowfalls through the Alberta foothills. And then into April Fools, up into the 3rd, we have another big system here. Big line of moisture coming out of the Gulf. Going to be a very dangerous week ahead. Watch for an extreme weather outbreak through central and Gulf states. And lots of moisture heading into Ontario. Overlooking South America, Africa, daily evaporation rains through the regular regions. No major systems affecting you over the next few days, except for a pretty strong low coming out of southern Brazil. Overlooking Australia. And Southeast Asia. You've got a pretty big low moving south of the continent there through Australia. Long range forecast coming in hot for the 5th and 6th of April. And as well, tropical cyclone forming just north of you. Another quick look here at forecast models. Some pretty big systems moving through the Pacific this week. Set to bring in some heavy snowfall through parts of Alaska. Have a look here at snowfall totals for the next 10 days. As we've got tons of snow falling. Looks like Wyoming and North and South Dakota could see up to 70 centimeters of snow the next 10 days. Right up into Newfoundland, northern Quebec, and as well some heavy snowfall totals up into Greenland shorelines and Iceland. Very large low pressure system in the North Atlantic. Heads up everybody, much love, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stay aware and prepared, stay young and have fun, and get your daily dew. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thanks, bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.